I'm going to attempt to make a tutorial on how to make heart-shaped cake pops. I don't know how this is going to go, but right now I'm just mixing up the cake mix. I just simply use a boxed cake mix, and I follow the instructions on the back and mix it up and bake it off. I have evenly distributed the cake mix into 2 pans. I find this is easier to crumble it than using a big, like 9 by 13. I think the cake stays more moist when it's in a smaller pan like this. I just find it easier to crumble. Now that the cakes are cool, it is time to crumble the cake into the bowl. I just do this by crumbling with my hands. I've done it with the mixer before, but I just don't feel like taking that out. So I'm going to cut off the crunchy part of the cake because that doesn't crumble so well. And then I'm just going to cut it into pieces. And just crumble it up. They say you could take 2. I've seen this online before. And just shred it, just get it like this. But I mean, either way, as long as you're crumbling. See, it's moist. I'm only gonna need a tiny, see? It's very moist because I've done it in these pans. Just gonna keep crumbling up the cake. I just cut up the second cake and I'm getting it in here. It seems like a lot, but once you add the frosting and mush it all together, it doesn't end up to be so much. I think 2 cakes, like 1 whole box of cake, usually makes about 24 cake pops depending on the size. I am going to turn these into hearts, if I didn't mention that already. I'm getting cake everywhere. I'm going to get in here with a fork now just to make sure that I'm getting it very crumbly. So now we need some frosting. I'm going to use this frosting. It's just chocolate fudge frosting. Now I've seen some people use tons of frosting. I start with a scoop because you could tell this was already moist. So the more frosting you have, the more mushy they are, and then they don't really form good shapes. So I'm just going to start with this. This is probably when I should be using the mixer because this is going to make a mess. But like I said, I don't really feel like, I don't have a place to keep the mixer on the counter, so it's like away, and I'm being lazy today. Plus I feel like it comes out better when you do it by hand. That's just me. And not everybody has a mixer, so if you don't have one, you know that you can do this without one. Alright, so I'm going to go in here with my hands just to see how it's forming. See how this mushes down once you add the frosting. I'm going to add a teensy bit more. Yeah. There we go. You know what? We're just going to do this hands. This is perfect. Alright, so I'm going to keep doing this, and I'm going to clean up my mess, and then we'll be ready to form these into hearts. Okay, so now we're going to make these hearts. I have my pan lined with parchment paper. That'll be right next to my bowl. I have my cake dough ready to be formed. Alright, so you're going to take about, I would say that this is like a walnut sized ball, just like this. And first I'm going to do is just make all the balls. You could use a scooper if you want. I can't really find my scooper right now. I do have one. I use it for cookies though because it's small. I want these a little bit bigger than the scooper that I have. And if you can see, mine has like some cracks in it. That's okay for now because we could fill the cracks in with chocolate if we need to when we melt it. Alright, so as you can see, I actually had 25 balls out of that one box of cake mix. So I'm going to show you how I personally shape them into hearts. You can do it any way you want. Sometimes people just use like a mold. I don't use a mold, I just do it free-handed. So I'm going to take one, and I'm going to start by pinching the bottom to get the point of the heart. I have awful lighting in here, so if you can't see this, I apologize. So you just kind of form the heart. You want to make sure that you get that dip in there. Again, the cracking is not that serious because we can go in and fill that in with the chocolate when it's time to dunk, so that you don't see the cracking when it's, oh my god, how cute! Can you see that? Let's see. Oh, so we've got a cute little heart here. I'm going to show you guys one more, and then I'm just going to get this done, and I'll show you how we dunk them. It also helps if you want to press it. You could do it from this way as well. Oh my gosh. I love Valentine's Day. I just love everything pink and hearts and red and purple. I just love it. Love it. Okay, so again, it's still cracking. I mean, I could have probably used more frosting, but it's not that big of a deal because we can use the chocolate to glue that together. Alright, so I'm going to keep making some hearts, and then I will show you guys how we dunk them. So here's all my hearts. I am going to pop these bad boys into the refrigerator. The lighting is awful. I hope you, oh, here we go. It's a little bit better. I'm going to stick these in the refrigerator for a little while because I want them to get a little more solid, and then we are going to decorate these things with some chocolate. For the rest of the cake pops, this is what you're going to need. We're going to need some candy melts. You can use the Wilton brand or whatever brand you like, or you could melt regular chocolate if you wish. You need some lollipop sticks, some sprinkles of your choice, and you need a little vegetable oil in case the chocolate doesn't melt right. This will help it run smoother so that the dipping is better. I was hoping I had some pink candy melts left over from the last time I made cake pops to do a little drizzle, but I don't. But I do have these adorable sprinkles that I'll just sprinkle on top. Alright, so we're going to need a little bowl. And at first, you only need a little bit of chocolate. Because this chocolate is just needed to stick the sticks into the cake pops. I think I forgot to mention that you need like something like a foam board. I got it at the craft store in the floral section to stick the cake pops in when they're drying. So I'm going to put that right over here, and I'm going to melt this chocolate a bit. So when you melt it, you want to do it in intervals of 30 seconds because you don't want to get the chocolate to get too hot because it will start acting funny if it's too hot. So this is perfect. I'm going to pull out the cake pops and we're going to start sticking them. Alright, so you take your stick, your cake pop. This is also the time that we're going to fill in the cracks. You just want to dunk it a little bit because this is going to be the glue that sticks it. Stick it in the bottom of the heart, like so. And there you go. It's on the stick. Stick them in your foam, like so. It's going to be wiggly because this has been used. I've used this a bajillion times. All the sticks into the hearts and get them ready to dunk into chocolate to decorate. Cake pops are very easy if you have the patience. There's a lot of steps, but they're pretty simple if you haven't already been able to tell. You just really have to have patience. So I've melted the chocolate, but it's not as runny as I want it, so I'm going to add a little bit of vegetable oil at a time until it's good and runny. About a teaspoon at a time. If you have Crisco, you can also use Crisco for this. I just don't have any. Alright, so I think this is pretty good. See how runny it is? Before I dunk them, then the cracks. See the cracks? Just because I don't want it to show up after I dunk them. Just the big ones like that. See this little one? Alright, so I'm going to let this harden, and then I'm going to dunk it. So now that it's dry, we are going to dunk it. Just one quick dunk. And then tap off the excess. Gently though, because these can get heavy and they will fall off. And then keep shaking because you don't want any chunks. While it's still wet, sprinkle it with sprinkles. And then you have cute little Valentine's Day cake pops. Here's my cake pops all done. I got this cute heart cake pop holder at Target a couple years ago, and I love pulling it out for Valentine's Day. Hope you guys enjoyed this video.